Morning guys, William here with Patriot Containers. Today is Thursday the 4th. I got a lot of packing today. I'm going to be camping with my son for 4 days in another state. Should be fun. I woke up early. This video that I'm going to talk about the cargo container industry is about standards. Standards vary between people everywhere in everything. You know, my standards on food are, I don't mind buying generic food or cheap coffee or gas station coffee. Some people have to have a $8 Starbucks. That's not for me. And my standards on some things are very low, and my standards are on some things are very high. If you're new to my channel, thank you for viewing. I have a lot of educational videos in my YouTube channel that can protect you. They can bring awareness. That can teach you a lot about the cargo container industry if you're searching for a cargo container. If you're finding my videos and it's too late and you already bought from one of these crappy companies that rip you guys off, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That being said, I've been in business. I say this every single time. I've been in business for 13 years. I've owned Patriot Containers for 11 years. And in 11 years, I only have 4 complaints. And all 4 of those complaints are people that never bought a container from me. There's a right way to sell containers, and there's a wrong way to sell containers. 90% of cargo container companies that are trying to sell you something do this the wrong way. They don't do it with ethics. They don't do it with morals. They don't do it with standards. They do it with lies and closes and sales pitches. And they have terms and conditions that are going to burn you in the end for all the wrongdoings that they did to you. You will pay for it no matter what. They're not going to lose a penny on you. So that being said, you know, I like good tasting food. Does that mean I can't shop at Walmart? Does that mean I have to go pay top dollar for everything? Does that mean a generic cereal isn't gonna taste the same as the branded one? I like good tasting food, but I also don't like to break the bank. I can make good food taste good myself by cooking or barbecuing. So let's get back to containers here. Patriot Containers standards and morals are very high in this industry. That's why I consider myself to be one of the rare companies that actually does everything right, and I don't sell crappy containers. I think everybody should buy a new container, but I'm not the customer. The customer has standards. I have standards. I have a choice of how I want to run my business. I used to work for crappy companies 13 years ago. I've watched what those companies go through. I know exactly with what goes on in the office of all these crappy companies that I'm exposing, because I used to work in an office just like that. You know, the horrible part about working with horrible companies is they don't want to grab the bull by its horn and take care of the problem that they've created. They want to keep it in emails or transfer you to somebody's desk that's not there, or transfer you to this department, and they're going to avoid your phone calls and not handle it. That's how these companies run their business. They're not accountable, but they have very low standards on the products that they sell. So yes, my standards in this industry are very high. I want my customers to buy new ones. I want my customers to buy good used products. There are cheap junk that I can sell you, that I can purchase very cheap, that I can be the cheapest person just like they are selling you junk. I don't want to be that type of customer, or that type of company. I used to work for companies like that. I hated it. I wanted to do something different. I do do stuff different, and I do this the right way, and I do not do container sales, container deliveries. I don't offer the crappy service that those companies do to you. I don't have terms and conditions that can screw you over. My customers come first, and those companies put their customers last. It's sickening. It literally is sickening. They don't care about their customers at all. So that doesn't mean that sometimes they can get it right. Sometimes they do deliver okay containers or new containers. However long it took to get there is another thing. But I've read the complaints on these companies for years, and there's thousands of them to read. And I've read all their terms and conditions. Their terms and conditions are designed to screw you guys over and to protect them from everything that they've told you. But if my standards are higher and I want my customers to buy good used containers that cost a little bit more, not a lot, just a little bit. What about the customers that have no standards? What about the customers that are welders that want stuff with holes in it? So I'm a business owner, I'm not a salesperson. A salesperson wouldn't care because it's not his business. I do care because it is my business and it's my reputation, and any type of problems my customers have, I have to deal with it. I would prefer everybody be happy, delivered on the right day, and everything was the truth. So back to standards. There are people out there that have very, very low standards, and they don't want something nice. Those people scare me because you don't know if they really know with what they're asking for. I have a feeling that when they call 10 different companies and they hear all the mumbo jumbo of wind and watertight is good, or we don't sell as is, but every other company does, and we only sell good wind and watertights that have been inspected, and we cherry pick our wind and watertights. That's all bullshit. They don't do that. And in fact, they do sell as is and damaged containers. That's how you guys get really bad containers, is when the companies that Patriot Containers has high standards, those companies have very low standards, and they will purchase you a damaged or as is container. And they'll purchase it to you and deliver it to you knowing that their terms and conditions are going to protect them from what they did wrong. The way they sold it to you was wind and watertight. They didn't tell you with what wind and watertight really is. That's the problem. So a lot of people that are looking for containers, they call 10 different companies and they hear 8 different lies that sound the same. It's either undersold or it's completely oversold, but it's not sold with the truth on wind and watertight. I tell people the truth. Hey, wind and watertight sucks. It has cosmetic problems. It might not have holes, but it's going to be not a good container. You're going to be closing the door to a good container, and you're opening the door to a bad container. You buy a better container, you're opening the door to a better container. You're closing the door on a bad container. But yeah, there's people that want cheap containers. I don't know if they really know with what they're asking for. They just think that their wind and watertight is good. And then there is rare occasion, and I've turned down deals. I typically make $300 to $500 on every container I sell. I've turned down people that wanted 25 containers, and they wanted them to be the cheapest, crappiest containers possible. And I turned it down because what do you do when you purchase 25 crappy containers and you deliver the first one and the customer goes, I don't like it, I want my money back? Now I'm stuck with 25 containers or 24, and he wants his money back. I don't have terms and conditions that protect me from doing the wrong thing. So I'm stuck. I have to protect my business also. I used to make videos reading complaints on these crappy companies and then telling what company it was that I'm reading, and exposing these companies for the information you guys aren't reading. I also used to call these horrible companies and listen to these idiot sales reps just lie out their teeth and have no clue of what they're selling it and totally sell it incorrectly. And they look like rookie idiots that have no idea with what they're talking about. You don't have to know with what you're selling. You just have to lie and be a closer to make sales. I don't do that. I tell people the truth. I tell people what day your container is going to arrive. I tell people with what condition you're going to get, and everything I tell you is going to happen. So I used to call these crappy companies. I only did it twice. I did it to one company and I did it to another company. And I've never called another competitor in 11 years. I used to say I was proud of that because they call me all the time. I can tell. But I recorded the conversations and I put it on YouTube, and then I commented on it. And oh my God, these companies lost their minds. All their employees went to these people, these salespeople's defense, and shamed me, which I don't care. I literally don't care. They suck and they're horrible companies, and I'm the good guy that actually does everything right. And there's nothing they can do about it. That's why they watch my videos. The competitors I'm exposing are my number one viewers on my videos. In due time, all my videos are going to get a lot of traction over the years, and my videos will work in the future. Maybe not right now, but they will in the future. But I had a voicemail one time, and the lady said this: "How dare you call this person? The only reason this company gets so many complaints is because they sell wind and watertight, and they don't tell what the customers with what wind and watertight truly is." And this lady works for one of the companies I was calling. And she said it. "We get all of our complaints because we sell wind and watertight and we don't tell our customers what it truly is." She said it in the voicemail. I used to have these videos. I deleted them. I wanted to do this the right way of exposing these crappy companies. Was that the right way? I don't know. But yeah, she said it. "We get all of our complaints because we sell wind and watertight and we don't tell our customers what it truly is." There you go. That's exactly what these companies do. Where it gets worse though is when these companies are not selling you wind and watertight. They sell you damaged and as is, and then you get holes, problems, bent rods, door seals that are hanging off. It's damaged. So standards. Patriot Containers has high standards. That's why I don't have any complaints in 11 years from an actual buyer. I can't sit here and say I've never had an unhappy customer. I delivered 2 20-footers the other day up in Northern California, in cargo-worthy containers. And when my driver went to pick them up, he sent me a bunch of pictures of maybe 7 20-footers. Even though they were cargo worthy, they were kind of on the rough side. They had dents, they had some curdling, but they weren't rust bucket pieces of junk. They just had a lot of, and when I say dents, it's not bowed in. I'm talking about like a crease, but it's not, there's no hole. These were just cargo worthy containers that were just a little roughed up, a little bit, just slight enough to where if it wasn't there, everything would be better. And I delivered 2 20-foot cargo-worthy containers to a very nice customer. He did receive cargo-worthy containers. It's just that the last 7, and it's funny too, is because all the cargo-worthy containers that I sold previously were amazing. I mean, just they were so beautiful, and I have videos of them. And then The two that I delivered earlier this week, or actually maybe last week, took them a long time to send a video, but they were a little rough. They weren't horrible. I think his standards were just higher. And I like being honest about these containers. I don't like sugarcoating it. I don't like overselling it. I want people to know with what they're going to get, so when it gets there, you're not misled. You know, when you guys buy used containers, they're never perfect, ever. But there are levels of standards of damaged as is when in watertight. I think all three of those can really cause potential problems if you sell it. Once you start selling cargo worthy and IICL, that's when your problems go away. Now, these companies that I'm warning you of and I'm exposing, they have very low standards. They don't believe in with what they're selling. That's why they have terms and conditions on their websites. I don't have terms and conditions on my website because I believe in everything that I'm selling and I put my customers first. And if I screw up, I'm not going to charge you extra money. High standards, low standards. But yeah, there are customers out there that want crappy containers. A, they don't really know with what they're asking for, or B, maybe they have really, really low standards and you just don't know. So by selling to those people, I have two choices. I can either cater to them and deal with the repercussions of them being angry, even though I told them the truth, or I can say, hey, look, I just don't sell those because they cause problems upon delivery because you're not going to like the cosmetics. And then it turns into an argument because I'm trying to tell the person my standards and it's not matching their standards. And I have, I've always say I have no pride and no shame in my household and in my marriage, and I have no competition. I do have a lot of pride in Patriot Containers. I started my business to be the exact opposite and actually have standards and have morals that these 90% of these crappy companies do not have. They are scumbag leeches that are fueled by greed, and they do not care about their customers. Their standards are low, mine are high. Customer standards, I believe everybody wants a new one. They just don't want to pay for it. I believe when you're buying a used container, everybody wants a good used container. They just want to hear that the cheap one is good, and it's not. The cheap one is bad. And the companies with low standards, tons of complaints, terms and conditions, and I'm going to give you the warning signs right now. We're nationwide. We're the most reviewed. Lifetime warranties, 25-year warranties. If you don't like your container in 30, 60, 90 days, you can get a full refund. Well, that little tiny link on the bottom of their website where it says terms and conditions, it says the exact opposite of what they're telling you on the phone. It just does. And it's 14 pages long. One of the companies, it's like 3 or 4. I have it printed on my desk. I've read it. Disgusting. They put their customers last. They have no standards, no morals, and they're fueled by greed, and they're scummy, crappy companies, and they know it. That's what it is. So anyways, guys, I'm not making another video for till Monday. I'm gonna go camping, so that's it. I got a lot of packing to do. Woke up too early. I'm gonna have to take a nap before I hop in the car for a while with my son. So, all right, guys, stay safe. Hope my videos are helping. If you need anything, if you need honest truth, call me, 888-611-5698. I apply zero pressure when I'm selling containers. I've been doing it too long. I'm not a closer anymore. I just want to help people make money. I can't make you buy anything, but I am sick of what's happening with this cargo container industry, and nobody else is doing videos like this that are helping people, so I'm doing it. Nobody else is giving these companies a slap on the wrist and saying, hey, you can't do that. Well, that's what my videos are doing. There's people that won't watch my videos, and I understand that. I understand that they're a little bit too long, but I hope in due time people start watching these videos and realizing that everything that I'm telling you guys is the truth. It's not a lie. It's not slander. It's the truth of what's going on. It's always been like this. It's just getting worse now. Everybody's competing to make that sale, but instead of telling you the truth, they're trying to make the sale with who can lie to you the most, and just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. It's a money-making machine of screwing people over. It's actually highway robbery and criminal sales is the way I look at it. It's borderline criminal of what these companies are doing to you guys. And that's what my YouTube channel is all about now. I post videos of deliveries. When a customer sends me a video, I'll post it. Not all my customers send me videos. I request them all the time. Some people do, some people don't. It's the reason why I don't believe in all these horrible companies, why they have so many reviews. And I'll tell you why. I've been in business for 11 years. I've sold 15,000 containers. 95% of all my customers are very happy with the service that I provide. I don't want to say 100 because it's just not, but it's up there. It's high. And I only have 106 reviews on Google. I mean, I send out, hey, will you leave me a review? Hey, will you? People I know that are very, very happy, they don't do it. So how do you have a company that's been around for like 4 or 5 years and they have 900 reviews or 1,200 reviews? I'll tell you why. They pay for them. They have to. Every time they get a complaint, they have to buy like 8 or 10 good reviews so their score doesn't go down. I've done the math. I've counted their bad reviews to their good reviews, and the math matches up. That being said, hold on. So I had something to say, but I brain farted and I forgot. But anyways, Thursday the 4th, guys, have a good one. Stay safe. If I can help you, call me. If you don't have to. And if you do call me, you don't have to buy a container either. I just want to tell you the truth and help you. I want to help you from not getting ripped off, to be honest. That's the whole point of these videos. But have a good one. Bye.